had something real, the kind you don't invent. Your head on my shoulder, every sunset spent. And I knew it then, I knew it was enough. I knew it was the realest thing I'd ever touched. Maybe in another life we get to keep this. Maybe in another life the timing isn't broken. We had something true right here, right now. Maybe in another life we find a way. We find a way. The ocean was orange, you looked up at me. I looked down and knew this is all we'd get to be. And I knew it then, I knew it was enough. I knew it was the realest thing I'd ever touched. Maybe in another life we get to keep this. Maybe in another life the timing isn't broken. We had something true right here, right now. Maybe in another life we find a way. We find a way. I don't regret a single evening, not the cliff, not the cold, not the way you looked at me like I was worth the hold. Maybe in another life we get to keep this. Maybe in another life the timing isn't broken. We had something true right here, right now. Maybe in another life we find a way. We find a way. We find a way. Maybe. We had months of something beautiful. Long drives, quiet nights, your laugh. The kind of love that builds without you knowing, until you're holding more than half. But the calendar already had someone else's name on it. Too late to real, that's what we were. Too late to real, every kiss, every word. We loved each other honestly, right up until the end. Too late to real. Maybe in another life we meet before then. We meet before then. You lay there on the cliff top, looking up at everything. I leaned in close like I could could stop it, like love was enough of a beginning. But the calendar already had someone else's name on it. Too late, too real, that's what we were. Too late, too real, every kiss, every word. We loved each other honestly, right up until the end. Too late, too real. Maybe in another life we meet before then. We meet before then. Before then. Too late, too real. We didn't say it was the last one, just drove to the cliff like always. You laid down, I sat beside you, like the 100 times before this. But this was the last sunset, with your face turned up to mine. The last time the ocean watched us, the last of this particular light. We had it, we really had it, every evening on that edge. The last sunset, and neither of us could say it out loud. Could say it out loud. You smiled like you didn't know. I smiled like I didn't either. The sky turned every shade of leaving, and we stayed until the cold came. But this was the last sunset, with your face turned up to mine. The last time the ocean watched us, the last of this particular light. We had it, we really had it, every evening on that edge. The last sunset, and neither of us could say it out loud. Could say it out loud. Maybe in another life we get more sunsets. Maybe in another life this one isn't the last. But here in this one, I held it as long as I could. I held it as long as I could. she didn't know it yet. He could tell by how she smiled. Easy, open, unguarded, the way she'd been the whole while. But he'd gotten the call that morning and hadn't found the words. He knew this was the last time. He knew, and she was still smiling. They had been so good together, all those evenings on the cliff. He knew, and he chose one more hour of not knowing, of not knowing. She looked up at him softly. He leaned down close and stayed. The ocean kept on moving. Neither of them moved away. But he'd gotten a call that morning and hadn't found the words. He knew this was the last time. He knew, and she was still smiling. They had been so good together, all those evenings on the cliff. He knew, and he chose one more hour of not knowing, of not knowing. Maybe in another life he doesn't get that call. Maybe in another life they stay until the fall. But here he just leaned closer and memorized her face before the last sunset ran out of space. He knew this was the last time. He knew, and she was still smiling. They had been so good together, all those evenings on the cliff. He knew, and he chose one more hour of not knowing, of not knowing, of not knowing. He knew. We had something rare, the quiet kind that lasts. Long evenings on the cliff top, no future, only that. She looked up at me like the sky was behind my head. She looked up and I looked down. She looked up and neither made a sound. other softly for as long as we had left. She looked up and I held everything. I couldn't say it. Couldn't say it. The waves were gold beneath us. The clouds were moving slow. She knew, and I knew, and we let the evening go. She looked up at me like the sky was behind my head. She looked up and I looked down. She looked up and neither made a sound. We loved each other softly for as long as we had left. She looked up and I held everything. I couldn't say it. Couldn't say it. Maybe in another life I say it. Maybe in another life she stays. But here she just looked up and I just looked down, and the ocean took the rest away. We had a year of something real before the world reminded us of everything already set in place. Before we came to us, before we knew each other, we were building separate lives. Before we knew each other, we were choosing different sides. And then we found this cliff top and the orange evening light. Before we knew each other was the only thing standing in the way. that's all we'd need. That's all we'd need. We were good at this. The evenings, the cliff, the light, your head in my shoulder, every fading night. And in this life, that's all we got to be. In another life we stay, no distance, no goodbye. In another life we stay, no reason not to try. We had the love already, that part was always true. In another life we stay, and I get to keep all of you. All of you. The ocean stretched forever. You looked up at me slow. We both felt the ending, but neither let it show. And in this life, that's all we got to be. In another life we stay, no distance, no goodbye. In another life we stay, no reason not to try. We had the love already, that part was always true. In another life we stay, and I get to keep all of you. All of you. I believe in that life, the one where this worked out, where the cliff is just the beginning, and love wins over doubt. In another life we stay, no distance, no goodbye. In another life we stay, no reason not to try. We had the love already, that part was always true. In another life we stay, and I get to keep all of you. All of you. All of you. In another talked about it once, quietly, like it was allowed. A house near water, away from the crowd. We'd been so honest about everything, but the ending, what we imagined, was a life we didn't get. What we imagined keeps me up some nights, yeah. We had the feeling right, we had the love in place. What we imagined, life somewhere between that cliff and your face. And your face. She smiled when she said it, like she meant it, but knew that imagining was all we were allowed to do. We had been so honest about everything, but the ending, what we imagined, was a life we didn't get. What we imagined keeps me up some nights, yeah. We had the feeling right, we had the love in place. What we imagined, life somewhere between that cliff and your face. And your face. Your face, what we imagined. We loved each other fully in the space that we were given. Every sunset on that cliff top, every evening, every listen. Loving without keeping is the hardest kind of true. Loving without keeping, everything I felt for you was real, was whole, was worth it. Even ending like this, loving without keeping, still loving. Still loving. Still loving. She looked up at the orange sky, I looked down at her. We had been so good at this, and both of us knew for sure. Loving without keeping is the hardest kind of true. Loving without keeping, everything I felt for you was real, was whole, was worth it. even ending like this. Loving without keeping is still loving. To keep each other, but here I'm glad we had it. Even if I had to lose her. I loved you on that cliff top. I loved you every evening there. I love the way you looked at nothing, like everything was everywhere. And I love you now. That's why I'm letting go. Letting go of you is the last thing I want. Letting go of you is all I've got. We were real, we were honest, we were good while it was ours. Letting go of you doesn't mean I stop. It just means I love you from far. From far. She looked up one last time. The sky was everything. I leaned down, stayed a second, then I gave her back the spring. And I love you now. That's why I'm letting go. Letting go of you is the last thing I want. Letting go of you is all I've got. We were real, we were honest, we were good while it was ours. Letting go of you doesn't mean I stop. It just means I love you from far. From far. Maybe in another life I don't have to choose. Maybe in another life loving doesn't mean I lose. But here on this cliff top, with the ocean going gold, letting go of you is the bravest thing I've ever done. I've ever done. Letting go of you is the last thing Letting go of you doesn't mean I stop. It just means I love you from far. From far. From far. From far. Letting go. We had the clifftop evenings. We had the orange light. We had each other honestly for every fading night. And I know it couldn't last, but I'm grateful that it was. Grateful for the impossible, the love that couldn't stay. Grateful for the impossible, every cliff top, every wave. We were never gonna make it, but we were real while we burned. Grateful for the impossible and everything it taught me about love. About love. She looked up at me softly. I looked down and smiled. We both knew what we were carrying. We carried it with style. And I know it couldn't last, but I'm grateful that it was. Grateful for the impossible, the love that couldn't stay. Grateful for the impossible, every cliff top, every wave. We were never gonna make it, but we were real while we burned. Grateful for the impossible and everything it taught me about love. About love. About love. Grateful anyway. I've been close to love before, but not like that cliff-top evening. Not like her looking up at me with the whole ocean beneath us. The closest I ever got was a sunset and her face. The closest I ever got was that impossible place. We loved each other clearly for as long as we were there. The closest I ever got to everything I wanted was her. Was her. I think about it sometimes, not with sadness, more with awe. That something that real existed between two people and the shore. The closest I ever got was a sunset and her face. The closest I ever got was that impossible place. We loved each other clearly for as long as we were there. The closest I ever got to everything I wanted was her. Was her. To keep the closest, maybe in another life it doesn't hurt the most. But here I'm just a person who got close once and knew it. Who got close once and knew it. Closest I ever got. I went back on a Thursday, stood where we used to sit. The ocean hadn't changed at all, the sky the same shade of it, but the space beside me was the loudest thing I've felt. Alone on the cliff where we used to be too. Alone on the cliff, still thinking of you. We had something honest right here on this edge. Alone on the cliff, and the ocean remembers even if I pretend. Even if I pretend. I sat down in the same spot, looked out like she looked up. The sunset came regardless, the way sunsets always do. But the space beside me was the loudest thing I felt. Alone on the cliff where we used to be two. Alone on the cliff, still thinking of you. We had something honest right here on this edge. Alone on the cliff, and the ocean remembers even if I pretend. Even if I pretend. And I keep coming back, alone on the cliff, with everything we had, everything we had. But we used to be two. Alone on the cliff, still thinking of you. We had something honest right here on this edge. Alone on the cliff, and the ocean remembers even if I pretend. Even if I pretend. Even if I pretend. Alone on the cliff. I've said a lot of things to people, some true, some almost, some polite. But on that cliff above the ocean, I was honest in a different light. She looked up and I looked down, and everything I felt was visible. The most honest thing I've ever been was leaning over her at sunset. The most honest thing I've ever been was loving her. And knowing we were real, we were whole, we were everything for a while. The most honest thing I've ever been is still her. It's still her. I don't say it to be sad about it, I say it because it's true. Some moments make you more yourself, and that cliff was mine, was you. She looked up and I looked down, and everything I felt was visible. The most honest thing I've ever been was leaning over her at sunset. The most honest thing I've ever been was loving her. The most honest thing. We loved each other fully on every clifftop evening we had. We never once pretended, we never once were sad about what we were. We just were. And then the world remembered what it needed from us both. Maybe in another life we're easy, no time and no goodbye. Maybe in another life we're easy, just the ocean, you and I. Maybe in another life we're easy, and I get to keep you from the start. From the start. She looked up at the last light. I leaned in one more time. The waves kept going under. We stayed above the line as long as we could, as long as we had. And then the world remembered what it needed from us both. Maybe in another life we're easy, no time and no goodbye. Maybe in another life we're easy, just the ocean, you and I. We had the love completely, that was never the hard part. Maybe in another life we're easy, and I get to keep you from the start. From the start. I'll carry this clifftop every sunset after this. The orange, the ocean, your face looking up. The the most beautiful maybe I've ever lived. Maybe in another life we're easy, no time and no goodbye. Maybe in another life we're easy, just the ocean, you and I. We had the love completely, that was never the hard part. Maybe in another life we're easy, and I get to keep you from the start.